Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to Trump versus Musk, the billionaire breakup. This happened on my birthday. I mean, I saw stuff on Twitter or X on my birthday where Elon was just saying some pretty wild stuff, and it was just pretty funny to see it all unfold. But I don't really know what's happened. I've been so busy with college and stuff like that, and then it was my birthday, so I was just busy doing stuff for that. And then, yeah, I just saw it all popping off, and it just seemed pretty interesting because a few weeks ago, or a few months ago, it was all looking smooth. They were best friends. And now he's on Twitter saying some crazy stuff. But it does make for some good entertainment, just looking in from the outside. But to see how it unfolded, I assume this video will go into this. I'm not too sure, but I hope so. But yeah, we're going to jump into this. What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you sort of see the funny side, or are you sort of more just frustrated by it? Because obviously they are, like, basically, I mean, Trump's obviously the president, and Musk is like up there now. Well, he was working alongside him in a certain area. But yeah, what do you think of this? But yeah, hopefully you're all doing well, and yeah, let's just jump into this reaction.
It was the bromance of the century, the improbable union of the world's richest man with the world's most powerful.
That's 24-karat gold.
But all that glitters is not gold, and yet no one could have predicted a breakup as fast, as public, and as ugly as this.
I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
It was this public trashing of Musk in the White House yesterday that lit the fuse for the spectacular blow-up to come.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore. I was surprised.
Trump was furious that Musk had publicly criticized his big, beautiful bill as an abomination that would bankrupt America. But Musk was watching on in real time and hit back immediately. Without me, Trump would have...
Yeah, this was mad, but he said some crazier stuff. I guess it's going to go into it.
Lost the election. Such ingratitude. The president then hit back on his own social media platform. Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, and he just went crazy.
Bro, they're going at it. I didn't actually see Trump's. I mean, I think I saw stuff, but I didn't know if it was real or not because he doesn't use Twitter, I don't think. I keep saying Twitter, you know what I mean. But yeah, I guess he uses another social media that I've never heard of, Truth dot whatever that is. But he's snapping back, right? They're just trying to get in each other's like feels now, like just hitting him where it hurts.
And then came the threat. The easiest way to save money is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts, to which Musk quickly replied, "Go ahead, make my day."
The bromance is over.
The alliance between the world's richest man and the world's most powerful, Donald Trump, is imploding right now in real time before our very eyes.
The news networks could hardly believe what was unfolding, but Musk was only getting started. Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files.
Bro.
That is the real reason they have not been...
See, this is mad to fit, like, just to say, right? But the scarier thing is, like, he's saying this, right? And what I find mad, like, obviously, who knows if this is true? I feel like Elon's a bit mad, but there's obviously history there that can maybe sort of... You can sort of see a link there, right? Like, there is definitely some sort of history between Trump and Epstein from what I've seen. But what I find mad is, like, why would you just say this now after all of this is coming up? If you knew this, why would you not say this? Like, I just find it, like, wild. Like, just... That's what makes it a bit, like, iffy. Like, just say it. Like, if you knew this from the start, then you're a bit mad for just, like, holding this information and then just saying it because of what's unfolding. But, again, it makes a great watch. Who knows what's true? Who knows what's not true? But you don't want that on your CV if you're the president. I keep thinking to say prime minister, but this isn't the UK.
Made public. It was a jaw-dropping allegation that Musk compounded by sharing video of Trump with the deceased sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Musk provided no evidence for his allegation, and there is none, but the accusation was nonetheless stunning.
That is
the Republicans
crazy.
on the Hill were quick to dismiss it.
Of course.
It's just another accusation, another shiny object. There'll be another wreck on the interstate next week.
And are you not shocked by the allegations that he's in the Epstein files?
No, I don't give a shit about that.
He's accusing him, though, of being in the Epstein files.
Okay.
It's more than a billionaire spat, isn't it? Isn't this potentially dangerous for Donald Trump?
Look, you've heard some unbelievable things said on both sides. If he accused him on Epstein, what are the
There's
facts say?
unbelievable, and then there's that. That's not even on. That's just beyond that. Let's be real. That's a whole different level. But
If it is, we're going to see everything, just like with John Kennedy murder. You bring everything out.
For the Democrats, the Schadenfreude was only too visible.
It was inevitable. We knew this was going to happen. This was like forecast that this would be something like the brick of a Macbeth play. You know, it's all these people that are power hungry, some fishing for power, for influence.
I suppose it was in the stars. Everybody was predicting it when it first began. You've got two gentlemen with gargantuan egos and both appearing to suffer from malignant narcissistic personality disorder. And they basically converged around a common platform of plunder and pillage of the American people.
Hasn't lasted very long, this loving.
I don't know that any of these things last very long. There'll be probably something tomorrow that'll get people all upset too.
As the spat played out, shares in Tesla plunged as investors feared
Yeah,
a
that dropped
feud with
loads.
Trump would inevitably hurt Musk's business empire, and it might. While Musk is hoping to derail the president's mega spending bill and is threatening to use his
has
cash
he got a black eye there? Wait, what the fuck?
to hurt Republicans in next year's midterm elections. It's all a far cry from this. When the two men stood shoulder to shoulder outside the White House, showing off Musk's Teslas.
See, this is what I mean. I just feel like it just all just basically realistically just makes you realize how shallow all this stuff really is. Like, Trump will do this, and then realistically he doesn't actually care. Or Elon's like backing Trump, and then they just don't. It's just all so shallow. Like, it's all for their own personal gain. That is how it is realistically, which is probably how most humans are. But yeah, it just makes you realise like it's all just for people's own individual interests, and it's not for the greater good in the grand scheme of things. When people, you know, when they're like teaming up together and like, oh, we're best friends, and then look at it now.
Just 3 months ago. Now, the car Trump bought in support of his first buddy, a lonely symbol of their spectacular billionaire bust-up.
So now, what becomes of the broken-hearted? Their social media posts might look flippant, but with such enormous wealth and power, the feeds of Donald Trump and Elon Musk are really inconsequential. Or as one commentator put it, I'm just so glad that one of these men has the nuclear codes and the other has all our personal data.
Oh, God.
So what consequences could there now be in Washington and indeed in Silicon Valley? Here's Kieran Woodley.
That's into space. Come here. Take over,
Mate.
Elon. He gave him and his campaign hundreds of millions to win the election. He gave him a seat at the table. He took a chainsaw to government waste. He gave him a golden key in thanks. But was this relationship, now disintegrating like a SpaceX rocket, always doomed to failure?
You have the president of the free world, the richest guy on earth, one of the smartest guys on earth. Conflicts, they're kind of predictable, aren't they?
Elon Musk was never really a true MAGA follower, a billionaire whose companies rely on global trade, a close relationship with China, and the electric vehicle revolution.
We will drill, baby, drill.
And all that goes against a tariff-loving nationalist movement that is all about oil and gas. That's why Steve Bannon, one of Trump's longtime supporters, has always accused Musk of being an opportunist.
They're not populists. You know, I tease Elon all the time. If I could turn him from a techno-feudalist globalist to a populist nationalist, we could make some progress here.
While the MAGA world rejoices, what will happen to the other tech billionaires who lined up to attend the inauguration?
I'm sure if we were in the boardrooms or in the private conversations with the tech lords today, they are extremely nervous about this fight and beginning to understand that there are fundamental elements of the MAGA movement that are not in sympathy with with the future they imagine.
That nervousness will depend on whether Trump hurts Musk, using the powers of the government to not just roll back electric vehicle subsidies, but perhaps even cut other federal contracts with Musk's SpaceX company. All this coming at a time when Musk is already feeling the economic and political pressure.
He's taken a series of hits and defeats. Doge is a failure. The Tesla brand has been deeply hurt both domestically and internationally by his fervent support for MAGA. So I think it's probably an accumulation of defeats that made him wake up one morning.
Didn't get into politics at all and just kept doing what he was doing, he would have probably been so much better off, wouldn't? I mean, that goes without saying, doesn't it? Because now he's just made himself. He's probably hated by the left and the right now. So he's just got, who likes him now? It's just basically people who like his products. But even then, if you like his products, do you necessarily like him? Like, he's just basically made everyone hate him. And you could have just stayed out of this and just realistically just made like lots of money, because he was popular at a point. People like used to really like him, or the vast majority, maybe not everyone, but he seemed to be like a billionaire that people just seemed to like. And now it's just flipped, and now he's just made basically everyone hate him, other than like his fanboys or fangirls.
And say, wow, I'm in a good deal of trouble.
If the president holds the most cards, can Musk direct his chainsaw at Trump and pose his own threat? Because he claims that his nearly $300 million in last year's election is the reason why the Republicans now control all three branches of government. And with President Trump facing tricky midterm elections next year, could a prolonged breakup lead to Musk causing Trump an electoral headache?
I can tell you that congressional Republicans are getting anxious about this. Elon Musk has a lot of money. He spent nearly $300 million to help Trump get elected. For a lot less, he could be influential when it comes to congressional elections. And some of these Republicans are wondering, is Elon actually going to come and spend money against me if I vote for this bill? And $1 million in a tough congressional district goes a very long way.
Musk did plow millions into a Wisconsin Supreme Court race early this year, and he lost. And that will give him pause. But both men know that if their bromance was a wild ride, their breakup will have just as many twists and turns. The Republican Party and the American people are holding their breath ahead of the next move.
Well, the US political consultant Frank Lance joins me now.
I don't really care about all this. I'm just trying to see the information between them. I mean, is that just interviewing people now? I mean, that's like a brief little overview, isn't it? Suddenly Americans realise why politicians should not be accepting gifts. Yeah, it's just like, it seemed like a recipe for disaster. But I feel like there's always been like murmurs of like discontent or issues, and now it's just sort of, I guess, unfolded. It's not even a year yet. It's not even been half a year, has it? Trump came into office, what? End of January? I mean, I guess before that they were like sort of competing and or whatever. Like there was still the presidential election and stuff. It's just wild to see what's happening. I guess Musk calls for President Trump's impeachment. God damn. I mean, look, there's probably more to it than this. This was 15 hours ago, so it's somewhat up to date. But I guess let me know in the comments what is coming from this in the US like alone. Are people worried about this, or is it just more like just seen as like a sort of, I don't know, just a bit of drama that people are just laughing at or finding stupid? If you're a Trump supporter or you're not, if you're left or you're right, what are your opinions on this situation? Because it's a mad thing to happen, if we're honest. Like, it's just ridiculous, but it's also quite funny to watch. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, and until next time, subscribe. Peace.